Hey you guys, welcome back. So today we are going to be turning these simple store-bought cupcakes into fun and festive Easter cupcakes. So I did a similar video to this for St. Patrick's Day and I really enjoyed creating them, so I decided to do an Easter themed version. Now I did pick up different cupcakes than what I actually had for the St. Patrick's Day cupcakes. I found similar ones to what I had bought for that video, but it was only in a pack of 12 cupcakes and I just didn't want have 12 full cupcakes. So I found this pack of 6 cupcakes. They are technically funfetti cupcakes. So I'm actually going to be creating 6 different types of cupcakes this time around because I was having a hard time figuring out of what flavors to really bring. Like, what is an Easter flavor? Like, nothing very distinct kind of popped into mind when I thought of an Easter cupcake other than Easter kind of decorations that you can do for a cupcake. So we're only going to do 2 different types of flavors for these cupcakes, and the other ones are just going to be fun decorations that you can create yourself. So first things first, I'm actually going to scrape off all the frosting of these cupcakes because I'm not going to be reusing this frosting. I did do a taste test and it's kind of like that classic super sweet and sugary frosting, and if you guys watched my carrot video then you know that I've fallen in love with this new frosting. So I actually created a new batch of that over the weekend and I've already eaten like a good amount of it, so hopefully we have enough for this video. But because of that and also because of all the sprinkles in it, I wanted to just start off with a new frosting base because by the time I got rid of all the sprinkles in it and whatnot, it just we would have no frosting left anyway. First things first, get rid of the frosting. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with our first flavored cupcake, which is going to be a Mimosa Cupcake. Now my thought process behind this cupcake was that when I think Easter, I think of brunch. So if you're having, you know, a nice Easter brunch, why not have a mimosa or a mimosa cupcake with your brunch? So we're gonna keep this pretty simple here. I am going to be taking out the middle of this cupcake, filling it up with an orange filling. I'm gonna try to create that with vanilla pudding and orange juice. You could also do it with just squeezing the actual juice from an orange, but I have orange juice here I'm gonna roll with and see if that works first. If not, we'll try it out with an orange. You can also buy orange extract if you would prefer to do that. And then we are going to take our frosting and add in a little bit of champagne to get that champagne flavor into our cupcake. So let's start off with the Mimosa Cupcake. Okay, so I'm gonna start off by making our filling, which I wanna make an orange flavor out of. And I didn't want to have to go to any great lengths to make this filling for it. So I'm gonna use some vanilla pudding and then infuse that with the orange juice in the hopes that that will give us our orange flavor that of course we want. So this is just a vanilla pudding here, and I'm just gonna put a little dollop in there because we're only making a single cupcake. Obviously, if you're gonna be doing several of these, you're gonna wanna put more in there. My only fear with adding in this orange juice is that it's gonna make it too liquidy and I'm not gonna get enough of that orange flavor, in which case we'll have to go with just juicing an orange and putting that direct flavor into it. But I figured, why not give it a shot with doing it with the orange juice first, especially if you already have orange juice or you're gonna have orange juice at the table. I don't want you to have to go out and buy extra ingredients if you don't have to. I don't really know how much to put in, so I'm gonna wing it here like I often do. We have just a touch of the orange flavor coming through. Kind of reminds me of an orange creamsicle, which is actually, I think, a really good flavor idea for at some point. And if you don't want to use the champagne in your cupcake, you can definitely make this more of like an orange creamsicle. And personally, I think an orange creamsicle would also be a nice, fun spring flavor. So I added in just a touch more of the orange juice to try to bring out that orange flavor just a little bit more. I think this is perfect. You can taste it, but it's not overwhelming. I don't know about you guys, but when I make a mimosa, I'm definitely that person that fills the glass all the way with champagne and then tops it off with a little bit of orange juice for color. So if you're that kind of person like me and that's what you want to go for with this cupcake, then this is perfect. If you want a stronger orange flavor, I would recommend getting an orange extract or just using straight orange juice, because obviously the orange juice is already filled with a whole bunch of sugar and other things like that. But it worked well with the vanilla pudding. The orange flavor is coming through, and I am happy with that as a filling for this cupcake. Okay, so I am gonna be going one extra step with this, which is totally gonna be a optional step for you. I'm gonna go in with my food dye. I'm gonna start off with red since it's already pretty much yellow, and then if I need to, I also have my red food dye, my yellow food dye that I can add in as well. But I want this to be an orange color since the flavor is orange, and often, you know, we associate certain flavorings with the color, but also we're gonna have a lot of yellow cupcakes as it is since it's Easter. So I figured, why not give it a different color for this one since it's worthwhile. I really contemplated putting the food dye in the frosting instead, since that's what you're really gonna see. But since the middle is orange, I just felt like it was more appropriate to put the orange in the filling. I put way too much red food dye in here, so we're gonna try to offset that with a big glob of yellow food dye. Okay, next step of this cupcake is getting our champagne frosting going. So, like in the champagne cupcakes video, I'm using the mini bottles of champagne. So my concern with the frosting is that of course we are adding a liquid to it, and we of course don't want to make our frosting too liquidy, but we do want the flavor to come through. So worst case scenario, we can make the frosting a little bit too thin and we have to add in some powdered sugar to thicken it up. Hopefully we won't run into that issue. I'd say that was about half a tablespoon, and I'm just gonna work it in because I'm more so concerned about the consistency of the frosting over the flavor of the champagne. Again, no champagne flavor. Going in with another, I'm gonna call it a half tablespoon again. So now we've got like a full tablespoon in here. And our texture's starting to go a little bit. Definitely have the flavor now. Do it to your personal taste. So now comes the simple part, and that's just putting this cupcake together. All right, so it's time for assembly of this cupcake. And one bad thing about these cupcakes that I did choose is that they are funfetti cupcake batter as well, so they've got the sprinkles throughout, but I'm not super concerned about it for these cupcakes. I feel like in a way they almost just make it more festive. So I am going to pull out the center of this cupcake. I'm not gonna worry about putting the top back on it, so I'm just gonna use my apple core and pull it out. I'm just going to spoon our orange pudding mixture into the center of the cupcake. And then of course, last but not least, I'm gonna top it off with our champagne frosting. I hate using this piping tip because I feel like it never looks pretty when I do it. But here you have it, guys. It's super simple, but here is our mimosa cupcake. If you wanna make it more festive, feel free to put some orange sprinkles on top. You could always put a nice little orange slice on top to give it a little bit more of a festive flair. Okay, you guys, so our next cupcake is going to be a lemon cupcake topped with a peep. Lemon just feels like another fun, festive spring kind of a flavor, and I feel like it's not really Easter without a peep. Now, initially I was gonna try to find the peeps that were shaped like bunnies, but the grocery store I went to was completely sold out except for their traditional peeps. So we're just gonna place a nice little delicate regular old peep on top. And since we still have some vanilla pudding left over, I'm gonna put some vanilla pudding in the center of the cupcake just to give it a little added flavor, plus to kind of cut through the tartness that sometimes can come from a lemon frosting. So we're keeping it super simple. We're just gonna use the regular frosting that we've already made and then adding in some lemon juice until we get the flavor that we are going for. So I'm just going to be using lemon juice for this frosting. You can of course use fresh lemon juice. It'd actually probably be better with fresh lemon juice, or you can also use lemon extract. Either way, up to you. I'm just going to add in the lemon juice just a little bit at a time because we don't want an overwhelmingly tart lemon juice flavor. All right, guys, so I ended up putting in a little bit of lemon extract into the frosting because the lemon juice wasn't coming through with the flavor, but the tartness was coming through. And so I wanted to make sure I got the full lemon flavor in there. So when in doubt, lemon extract does work. Normally I have great luck with lemon juice. Maybe it's because normally I use fresh lemon juice. I'm not totally sure, but the lemon extract did work. So I'm gonna take out the middle of this cupcake, and I'm going to fill up the middle with some vanilla pudding. All right, time for the frosting. Now we could dye this a color, hype it out, but I actually have some yellow sprinkles I want to use for around it and then putting the peep on top. So I'm not super concerned about having it be this beautiful tight sort of area. So let's get that going. All right, so I've got my handy dandy butter knife here to help me put the frosting onto this cupcake. So that's good enough. Obviously, it's not the most beautiful job on top, but like I said, we're covering it with sprinkles. And normally I would dip it in the sprinkles, but I'm already running out of bowls and we're only on the second cupcake. So I'm just gonna create a huge mess here and just add the sprinkles on top. The orange cap opened, it's fine. Just cover the orange with more yellow. Cover the orange with the yellow, good enough. And then we're gonna take our cute little Here's our little Peep. And we're just gonna peep it right on top. Okay, you guys, so the rest of our cupcakes are going to be focused on a nice Easter decoration versus a flavor, starting with our carrot in dirt cupcake. I actually saw this on Pinterest, so this is not my idea, but basically you take a strawberry and you dip it in orange chocolate, and then it looks like a carrot, and then you of course crush up some Oreos to make it look like dirt, and then you just stick it in the cupcake, and there you go. So right now I've melted my white chocolate and I'm just to a nice orange color. Hopefully right now it looks red, but I haven't added the yellow yet. Again, the carrot explosion cupcake, and you know I really struggled getting the coloring right. It was more like a soft orange, so we're gonna try to get a richer orange color out of this so that, you know, it really looks like a carrot. So now I'm just going to dip my single strawberry into this. Obviously, if you're doing this for a group of people, you will want more chocolate and more strawberries, but since I'm just doing a single cupcake, we're just working with a single strawberry. I don't quite know the best method here. I'm just going to kind of roll it in, put chocolate over the top as we go. Get this all set. You want to try to keep the green up and out of the chocolate because that's going to be like the green. Oh, my mom Googled the term because I couldn't figure it out. I think she said it was called fronds or a carrot top. So this is our carrot and it has the nice green carrot tops, and I'm just going to put it on wax paper and let it dry, and then we'll move on to our cupcake portion. Okay, so I'm not 100% sure how she actually went about doing this, but I'm gonna make a very small cavity in the middle of the cupcake just so that the strawberry is not sticking out too far. And then I'm gonna coat the outside with frosting, and then I'll crush up some of these mini Oreos, put on top so that it looks like the dirt. So I've got my nice big bowl of frosting here, and I'm just gonna go around the edges. It's not worth typing it out. Here we go. I'd say that's good enough. Obviously, we're covering it with Oreos, so I'm not worried about it looking super beautiful. Normally, I would throw the Oreos in a bag or the blender to mix them up, but I'm feeling awfully lazy this evening, so I'm going to crush them in my hands. Maybe that did not work out as well as I hoped it would. Oh, because the cream is getting everywhere. Actually, this is fairly effective. We just have some bigger pieces than we normally do. Kind of want it completely coated without any super big pieces. Like, I kind of want to take that off. It's a little bit excessive. I'm trying to get these edges a bit more. We want to get, right now this looks like 100% cookies and cream, and we don't want it to look like cookies. I mean, it's gonna look a little bit like it, but we want it to look like dirt. I would not recommend doing it this way. It's not a very effective way. And obviously you would want it to be finer so it looks more like dirt. It's actually these edges, these sides of it that I'm struggling with. I need to wash my hands. Okay, I am the back. I just washed my hands, and it looks like our strawberry is almost set. So I'm just gonna peel it off because I'm super lazy, and we're just gonna put our carrots into our dirt. Just like so. So you have your dirt surrounding it, and then it's like you have a carrot coming out of the dirt. Okay, you guys, so for this next cupcake, I am going to be using Cadbury eggs, and these are probably my favorite Easter candy of all time. And as you can see, I have eaten the majority of this bag already. I bought this bag specifically for this video, and it's a large bag. It is a 1 pound bag of Cadbury eggs, and I left exactly 5 eggs left for this video, and I'm probably only gonna use 3, but I'm proud of myself for at least leaving the 5 eggs so that we could do this video. So what I was originally gonna do was gonna create like a cute little like nest for the eggs, but I feel like that's been done a lot. I've also seen some really cute ones where people will put like little faces of like chicks on them. That's super adorable. I love those, but I wanted to do something slightly different. So I am actually going to, again, just do the frosting on top, keeping it simple here. Of course, you can put pudding inside or some other filling if you want to make it more exciting. And then I'm going to dip it in some sprinkles, some Easter themed sprinkles, and then top it with the eggs on top. You guys, I am really proud of this cupcake. I know it's a very simple cupcake, but to me, it screams Easter. I'm really proud with how the sprinkles turned out on the side. I mean, if you look at this cupcake, you just know automatically that it's a Easter cupcake, and I used all 5 eggs that I had saved for this cupcake. Okay, you guys, we are finally to our last 2 cupcakes, and they're going to have a very similar frosting topping. So what I wanted to do was actually dye our frosting 3 different colors, wrap it all together to make a nice Eastery colored swirl for the top. So I'm gonna dye some of the frosting blue, some of the frosting pink, and some of the frosting yellow. Swirl it together for the top. Now inside of these cupcakes, they're gonna be a little bit different. So I wanted to do one with a pinata style cupcake. So we are gonna reuse those same sprinkles that we used before, so they give a fun surprise in the middle. And then in the other one, we are actually going to use a Cadbury cream egg. Another thing that I saw on Pinterest, but basically you just cut a hole into your cupcake, put the egg in like halfway down, and then cover it with frosting so that when you cut into it, it's kind of a nice surprise. So those are gonna be our last 2 cupcakes, so let's get this frosting going. Okay guys, so our frosting is ready, so it's time to make our centers ready. So this one on is gonna be for the egg, and I honestly don't know how much to pull out, but I feel like it's gonna be a lot. This egg is fairly large. Pull all of this off. We don't need to be eating any unwanted oil, and I'm just going to plop that egg right in there. Now for this one, I'm going to use the top of our piping tip because I want to put it back in. So I'm going to fill this with our leftover sprinkles, and this should give it just a fun surprise when you open it up. Another just really simple way to brighten up your cupcakes without really having to do anything too special. And now we have our moment of truth to see if our swirl will come out as a swirl. Guys, I think this might be my best frosting job yet. Now let's do this guy. And I love how like where the yellow and the blue has kind of mixed together, it has made a bit of a green. Because of course, like the more colors, the better. Easter is just a nice, beautiful, like pastel light color, springy kind of a day. So here we go. We've got the sprinkles right here and the egg right here. Okay guys, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you comment below which one is your favorite. Personally, I don't know. I'm kind of obsessed with all of them. So you'll just have to let me know which one is your favorite, and I hope that some of you guys try these out, and I will see you guys soon for the next cupcake creation. Bye.